everyone, this is Darwell20 and welcome to episode 68 of Darwell20's Let's Play series, where today I'm futzing around with some Pneumatic Craft stuff some more. So last episode we got ethanol cooking from yeast culture, we got bio whatever stuff here, biodiesel. We've got the wheat seeds going on. I should probably in today's episode run my cabling over here to hook up some channels and whatnot. I think we should. I can probably tie the same ones over from the workshop, maybe, because the workshop has some cables running this way, right? I could probably tap into that, and this can kind of all be one giant line. Though if it becomes a problem in terms of channels, I'm sure we can figure something out to solve that. Yeah, I'm sure we could. I'm sure we totally could. That said, let's get started today making plastic. So let's review how we make plastic from Pneumatic Craft. Okay, so plastic is made by cooling liquid plastic, and there's a few ways we can do this. One of them being heat frame cooling, which is a special block that can be placed over an existing inventory, like a chest, and it'll either cool or heat up items. Okay. Now I'd like to be conservative with my stuff. So first off, I'm going to make a vortex tube. You know, we love our vortex tubes. And then I'm going to get ready to do some cooling. Okay. So the other thing we're going to need though is the liquid plastic itself. So our goal here is plastic from Pneumatic Craft. Let me add it to my to-do list, right? And that is going to be cooled from Pneumatic Craft plastic, which is made in a thermo-pneumatic processing plant with charcoal or coal. And 100 millibuckets of biodiesel will lead to a bucket of plastic, which can then turn into basically one plastic sheet. Okay, so not a ton of biodiesel is needed here. One bucket of biodiesel is going to be like 10 pieces of plastic, which should be cool. Let's get that thermo-pneumatic processing plant going. Bing, bang, boom. That should be easy peasy. And with that set up now, let's review. The plastic just needs heat. It needs heat. So, are you guys... I could is there like a... Does it matter how much heat? It doesn't matter, right? There's only a minimum. It has to be greater than 100. That's it. Doesn't matter how hot it gets. The hotter, the better. Works for me. Okay. That's cool. I think I'd like to do something creative-ish where I like toggle the pressure here that's allowed to go into things. So remember this guy? The redstone signal determines that. So I think I might want another regulator tube or two. Let me get two more of these bad boys if I can. These guys require some work. Let me get a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then I'm probably going to want some more of these guys. Shouldn't be too bad to make. Cool. All right, regulator tubes are go. Where do I want to build this at? I'm thinking I want them to be semi-isolated from each other. So I'm thinking like back here behind this setup, like we could have one... This is where I'm going to put my chest, I think, for cooling. Okay. And then we'll put the... This might be the plasma. Yeah, I kind of want to stick it right next to this stuff, only because it's all integrated with the rest of these things, but we'll see if it gets a little too compact over here, because we might be a little compact. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Alternatively, well, let's do this. Do I want to just pipe all this in here? That seems like a lot to store. So I'm gonna use laser IO because I want to filter the amount that's allowed in there. Yes. Now there's another mod that lets me like limit the amount that goes into this like this. I will be happy to hear it. But for now, we're gonna use these guys. So on the tank face, we're going to just extract. Let's make it on orange, just because I don't like using the first channel unless I need to. And then on the down here, you're going to insert on orange, but you're going to filter bio Pneumatic Craft. There it is, biodiesel, right? But I only want you to have like... How about 500 millibuckets worth? So if I do that, did that work? No. And why would that be? Biodiesel, biodiesel, biodiesel. All right, this needs to be set to extract. There we go. There we are. Nice. And then you did 500. Perfect. That's what I would want to see. Okay. And then I just need to add charcoal to this thing, or coal. I'll just get coal because I have 41,000 of them. That seems reasonable. And now I need heat, right? So I'm going to want actually 2 vortex tubes here. And I have an idea of how I want this to play out. What I think I'll do is have the tank on this side. So let's get a dispenser upgrade set to the east side. And we're going to have a tank. Okay. Small fluid tank should be cool. And I'm going to go underground here. Because I really want to kind of like super automate the usage of gas. So like when gas has like, you know, has work to do, I want it to turn on. But I also want it to turn off when it doesn't have work. Otherwise, we're going to be wasting air pressure. Okay? So you're going to be actually the opposite of that. So let's do it this way so that cold is on the bottom here, right? And I don't really care how hot you get. As long as you get hot, and that works for me. So what I'm probably going to do is that the way I want it? Nah, probably not. What I probably want to do is something like this. Break this dude. Can I do that? I'm still not quite clear on how these rules work, but can I just do that? That would be cool. Okay. Threshold 4.9 bar because it doesn't have a redstone signal. Perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do, right, is that. Now I'm going to have a similar vortex tube set up over here, right? So we're going to do this with this guy and that. And then I want another vortex tube for the... This is going to be the cooling side. That's going to cool the plastic into that. And then we want the heat frame, which is going to sit right there. See, he goes kind of like over the chest. Cool. All right, that should be cool. Okay. And then I know I'm going to want heat sinks. At least one, probably more, but we'll talk about those in a minute. Okay. Once I play with this a little bit. Cool. Okay. So now you are going to get some laser IOing. Where's my... There they are. Boop. Now I'd like you to have a redstone output on... Let's make you orange. And you can be a redstone output on magenta. Okay? So basically we want to say, like, under some conditions, we want to toggle the redstone here. Okay? So for you, we're going to want to measure on the up. We want to measure how much plastic from Pneumatic Craft. So I want it to be liquid plastic. So if you have a bucket, I want you to emit a redstone signal on the orange channel. Got it? So if you have a bucket or more of molten plastic in here, I want you to emit a redstone signal on the orange channel, and that will cause him to turn off the heat here, which will stop him from producing more plastic, okay, and not waste gas. Does that sound cool? I'm going to say that it does. I think that works. So let's test it out real quick. Okay, so now you're heating up. You're making plastic at some point. No valid ingredients. Do what now? Coal. Oh, it has to be charcoal for biodiesel? Okay, cool. My bad. I misinterpreted that, but that's okay. That makes sense. Now you're happy? Okay, so when you get a bucket's worth, you're going to emit a redstone signal. You ready? Assuming that you pushed out. Oh, I need to put my dispenser upgrade in there. Boom. Now signal on. Now that turned off. It turned off the vortex tube. So it's going to keep processing a little bit, okay, until the heat dissipates, which is fine with me. I'm okay with that. My whole point here was not to stop it from processing more plastic, but in actuality, my goal is to stop it from using air pressure, right, which we've done. So you can see threshold 0. So like even though our pressure here is 4, our pressure above is dropping, right? And it's going to continuously drop until it hits 0, which is fine, right? Now our temperature here is below 100. It's finished making its plastic. It kept its 500 millibuckets of biodiesel, so that's cool, right? And now our plastic is here ready to be turned into this dude, okay? Now he is going to be a little bit more sensitive of a sensor. Basically, how do I want to do this? We're probably going to want to have some kind of measurement or some kind of drawer or something drawer that will store plastics, okay? Because the gist is we want to basically, here's what I'm gonna do it without automation first, just show you guys what our goal is. Deal? So let's do that. So first things first, let's do this. If I do this, he's gonna start receiving air pressure, okay? Notice he's still not, right? That's good. Now he's cooling down the thing above it. So see the temperature frame up there? It's at, you know, whatever number it's at, right? Negative 200 and something. It's continuously cooling off. Now it's like really cold, and now it's at like max coldness, okay? This guy is a bottom temperature, gets really hot, but we can throw a heat sink on there to kind of dissipate that a little bit, and that'll help cool things off. So see how bottom temperature now is 80, 79 C? So that's cooling things off really good on the bottom. What that does, by the way, as a side effect, is it makes this thing cool off faster. Now let me show you how this works, right? We get a bucket of molten plastic, and we put it in here, and it'll turn into a plastic sheet. See how cool that is? Okay. Button the molten, and then put it in here, and it'll turn into 2 plastic sheets. So the way this works is, if you just let it cool in world, 1 bucket always turns into 1 plastic sheet. However, when you use heat frame cooling, you get a bonus output chance of 1% chance of extra plastic sheet per degree below 0. So the colder it gets, the better the chance, right? Multiple limit is 1.75. So at best, we'll get, you know, a 1.75x multiplier. So yeah, I think that means it's like a 75% chance of giving me 2 of them, if I'm reading that right. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So long story short, we want to do that. But then we want to have a thingy here that turns this off when we don't need any more plastic. Okay? So 2 things we need to do. 1, we need to move from here to there, right? And 2, we want to make sure that this is nice and cold, okay, when we're going to do that. So let's set up a functional storage drawer to do all this automation with. And that's how we're going to do it. So basically, if we don't have enough plastic in this drawer, okay, I'm going to say transfer the bucket from here to here. And I'm also going to turn off the redstone signal. Is that right? Yes, to allow this to run. Okay. So here is going to be a new setup with this guy. He's going to be bound to there. Okay. So we're also going to want this guy here, and let's make sure that these things are a different channel. So I'm gonna make this guy a nice bluish color apply, and let's make this guy a nice green, so that we can differentiate our channel, like our networks and stuff. So see how we can tell the difference now between what's what? Pretty cool, right? I wanted this to be a little bit of a lighter blue. Is this the right way to do that? I guess so. That's kind of cool. That's nice, right? Isn't that nice? I like it. I could get rid of some of that, and ooh, yeah, that's a nice blue. Look at that. I like, very proud of this little thing I did here with the lasering and all. See, even the lasers between the nodes change colors. Isn't that cool? Yeah, buddy. Okay, anyway, enough being proud of myself. So, a couple things. Why did I put this here? Oh, right, because you're going to insert and extract the buckets. Okay, so 2 things we need to do. Okay, first on the up, okay, we're going to want to sense the number of items in here. So we're going to want a sensor card with a filter for Pneumatic plastics. Okay. And if you have more than 2 for now, I'm going to change this obviously. Emit a redstone signal on the white channel. Let's make it the black channel. Is that cool? We'll start backwards for items, right? So if that's the case, right, you would be sensing that. Okay. So now on the down, we're going to want to extract only empty buckets, but only if we're getting a low signal on black, right? So when black is being emitted by the sensor, stop extracting buckets. Got it? Got it. Okay. So if we check that now, he's not on, but if we go below 2, see how he's now extracting? Cool. And now if we go above 2, he's no longer extracting. Got it? Now on the down here, and we should probably filter this because we want to do different things, right? So you're going to be item transfer, you can be the orange channel. We'll start with orange there, okay? So then on down here, we're going to insert on orange, right? And we don't have to filter it, but what we're going to do is extract on magenta buckets of molten plastic, okay? Now I'm not going to stop that from happening because basically if we hit enough plastic, if it's in the middle of transferring, I want it to finish what it's doing. So if it's like in the middle of filling up a bucket, let it grab the bucket, let it move the bucket into the chest, let it cool the bucket off into a piece of plastic. We'll have a little bit more plastic than we asked for. I'm okay with that. I just want it to stop when it's time to stop, okay? So that'll be that dude, okay? So always run that. And then we want on the down here an insert on magenta, okay? So you'll always extract molten plastic buckets, and you'll always do that, or only do that when you don't have enough plastic drawers, right? Now the final thing here is I want to, over here, this was magenta, right, on the redstone, and the sensor channel that I did here was black. So how about we make this actually, we'll leave it black, right, and then there. So now that we're satisfied, this thing should be cooling or not getting any more pressure, right? So see how the pressure's stopping? We're no longer using pressure here. And that's cool, right? Because he's satisfied. Okay. Now, are you going to stay at 273? I guess. No, you're going to eventually warm up, which is not great, but that's okay. It'll be fine, right? So watch what happens now. You ready? I'm going to snag these dudes. And what should happen is he should insert the bucket, extract the bucket, put the bucket in here. And by the way, this will start getting its pressure again until you're satisfied. You ready? So here goes the pressure. See it all doing its thing? Okay. And then put these back in, and that's cool. So he's a little bit fast. Oh, by the way, I need to also, on the down, let's get an extract. Basic filter, plastic, right? And on the up, you will insert on there, right? So now he's transferring all those. Cool. That's another thing we obviously want. Now, my heat frame cooling, maybe. I wish there was a way to sense the temperature of this heat frame, but I don't know if there is. I don't know if Pneumatic gives me anything that can read temperature or heat. I'm going to assume that a comparator would be not emitting the temperature value, but instead be emitting yeah, that's the items in the chest value, right? Yep, that makes sense. Okay. So, I mean, here's what we can do, right? If I remove you now, let's see what happens. He's cooling. We might not get our multiplier perfect, and that's probably going to be our problem. But that's okay-ish. It's working. It's working. We're just not getting the multipliers. I'd really like to make it so I can do the multiplier. But the only way to really do that would be to make sure that it waits for the temperature to be cool enough before it does that. Do you have any kind of sensory, dude? No, you're not. You're not doing anything redstone signally. The only thing I could imagine doing otherwise would be like some kind of delayed reaction with like some circuits, which just gets really complicated and non-perfect. The reason it's non-perfect is that I can't really be sure. It's just like, oh, I'll wait a few seconds and assume that it worked. That doesn't seem great to me. I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with this. I think I'll live. Yeah? Okay. So let's make this on the up here actually be like 64. Does that sound like a number that seems good to you guys? So if I do that, he should immediately start cooling. Now eventually he's going to run out of plastic, which means you're going to turn on and start getting heat. And you'll start making plastic. Okay? And then he's making more plastic. That gave him some time to cool, by the way. Okay? Not bad. Now, if I wanted to, I could absolutely just slow down the rate at which this transfers, right? Because he's pulling out, like, what I could do is make it go, like, every 4 seconds. And that would be cool, right? We're going to need more charcoal, by the way. And it looks like you don't know how to make charcoal, so we're going to have to go remedy that situation. Where could I put you? Smelter. Alloy smelters in use. Do I have a... Do I have a thing down there that does smelting? I actually don't know if I do. I have infusing, enriching, and compressing, and then I have crushing. I think I should add... What are you, a basic universal cable? Okay. Mechanism smeltery. Basic smelting factory needs an energized smelter. Thank you. You can go away, by the way. And you go there, and then get a few tier installers. Boom. Let's get an elite and an advanced. And get some upgrades. 40 energy and 40 speed. Sounds like a number for me. There we go. And you. Cool. Energies are done. And then I'll just need a pattern provider. And then your sided config is blue on the top, or purple on the top for items. Auto eject on, right? And then a pattern provider. Just grab one of those. That can go there. And then you get speed upgrades to help you out. And then you get the pattern. So now if I say I want charcoal times 100, that shouldn't be a problem. Split on though. Cool? Okay. Now you, boop, 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 get more charcoal. Cool. And now he's cooking at a very nice temperature. How's all my pressure doing over here, by the way? You guys are good. You keep being weird about... Something's up with Laser IO and it's round robining. I wonder if it's round robin that's the problem. What if I turn off round robin? Are you just going to be cool now? About being 100? Yeah, I wonder if round robin has some kind of issue with what I had set up. Because you're definitely behaving better now that I turned off round robin. I'm going to have to look into that, because that might be a bug with Laser IO. Alright, so then once you hit 64, we should be good, right? Yeah, and you're going to be a little bit slow. Maybe I don't want you to be that slow. Let's make you every 2 seconds. That gives you enough time to cool off again between crafts, right? Now, why is your pressure only 2 bars over here? Oh, yeah, you're a little bit low. So this is why we wanted this turned off, because having all these machines running and all the vortex tubes at full power, a little expensive, right? But now that the pressure is disabled, right? See, our pressure is dropping now. These guys will have a chance to catch back up. And by the way, there's speed upgrades I can put in these to make these faster, and I will do pretty soon, actually. But hey, that's not bad automated plastics, right? That's pretty compact, pretty good, and most importantly, we're turning off the vortex tubes when we don't need them anymore, which I think is cool. Have I done that before? I'm trying to imagine. I don't know if I have. I'm honestly not sure if I've ever set it up before where I automatically turn off the vortex tubes to prevent them from wasting air pressure. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty cool, though. Let's look at speed upgrades from Pneumatic Craft. So these guys are cool. There's supposed to be a bucket of whatchamacallit here, which is another one of these guys. Yeah. Kind of. Do I want to do another thermopneumatic processing plant? See, if I was being cheaty, I would just be like, oh, free speed upgrades for Dyer. But technically what I should be doing is I should be taking the biodiesel and turning it into lubricant. Because you're supposed to have a bucket of lubricant. This recipe is supposed to have a bucket of lubricant in the middle, and it's a bug that it's not there. So I don't want to exploit the bug in the pack by crafting a bunch of these without the lubricant bucket. It's supposed to be a lubricant bucket. Lubricant is made with a bucket of biodiesel or a bucket of diesel, and a redstone dust will turn into a bucket of lubricant. So how do I want to handle that? And then also it requires what? It needs just temperature over 100. Okay. That's fine. So what I could do... Do I want to reuse the thermopneumatic processing plant? I'm thinking no. I want it to have its own. What I could do... I just want it like separate from all the heat stuff over here. But basically I'd want something similar. But yeah. We could basically do the exact same thing as this, but with redstone and lubricant. Right, we would say always keep a bucket's worth of biodiesel in there, and then yeah, and then vortex tube with the disable it when we have enough diesel or when we have enough lubricant. Right, where do I want to set that up at? Because right here is a little bit too tight. I could throw it like over here-ish. That should be fine, right? So if I had that and another vortex tube, right? And then we just had a tank. Not too close, please. Does like here work? So on the down, we're going to want to insert. Give me more laser cards, please. Okay. Down, insert on, what channel was I using here for this guy? Orange. Insert on orange, filter, Pneumatic biodiesel. And I want a full bucket's worth because that's what we need. Okay. And then bind you guys together. That should be fine. Sweet. And then we just need to run that. And we're going to want the sensor card here. So on the up, we're going to want to censor a counting filter. Okay. And that will be lubricant. And let's make it, does 8 sound like a good number of buckets? Boom, 8 buckets worth of lubricant. And you'll emit on the white channel, that should be fine. And then from Pneumatic we want, what's that thing called? This guy, regulator tube. 1, 2. 1, 2, regulator tube, and that, and that, and then you're going to emit a redstone signal on channel 0. That should be cool. Right, channel 0. Okay, and now we just need to run pressure tubing all the way over to here. Is that cool? So now you should be getting hot enough. And then as long as we keep a sufficient supply of redstone in here, right? What'll happen is he'll get his bucket, he'll transfer, he'll get his bucket. All right, and then we have to transfer it into this dude. Dispenser upgrade. This side of the block, please. Start dumping, and then as soon as you get 8 buckets worth, you're going to stop applying pressure. And yes, we will get a few more buckets worth of, you know, once this thing, because it'll take a minute to cool down. That's fine. And then we should be really cool. Yeah, I like it. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, so what you're supposed to be able to do is craft this either using a tank or with buckets themselves. Okay. So we're going to update the pack pretty soon. Probably by the time this video airs, the pack might even be updated or shortly thereafter. But in the interim, I'm going to basically just void this lubricant. What I could do is a trash can, a fluid trash can. And we'll just do, we'll just use buckets. I can't just click you. That's annoying. What I could do... yeah, whatever. Ah, don't do that. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Stop. Stop, stop. All right, wrapping up point. LetsPlay sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's wrap up here and come back next time. Did I break you? I may have broken you. Oh, yep, we're gonna have to fix that. There you go, fixed. That's kind of funny. All right, wrapping up point. LetsPlay sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.